Nobody expected her to last. A 16-year-old girl from a tiny Caribbean island with a population smaller than most American cities. No industry connections, no famous family, no path that made any logical sense from where she was standing. The music executives who first heard her sing gave her one shot, one afternoon in a New York recording studio, and told her that if she did not impress them, she was going back to Barbados on the next flight out. She impressed them. But what happened after that first yes? The control, the abuse, the public humiliation, the night that changed everything. That is the story nobody tells in full. Because Rihanna did not just become a music icon, she became something the entertainment industry had never actually seen before. A black woman from the Caribbean who built a billion-dollar empire entirely on her own terms and became wealthier than almost every musician who came before her. Not from music, from business. If you want the full story, stay until the end because the last chapter of this video is the one that changes how you see her completely. It starts in Bridgetown, Barbados, a small island in the southern Caribbean where the beaches are stunning and the poverty is real. Her father, Ronald Fenty, is a warehouse supervisor who struggles with crack cocaine and alcohol addiction throughout her childhood. Her mother, Monica, is an accountant from Guyana, doing everything in her power to hold the family together while her husband falls apart inside their home. Robyn Rihanna Fenty grows up watching her mother absorb her father's addiction. She watches what it does to a woman when the person who is supposed to protect her becomes the person she needs protecting from. She develops severe headaches as a child that doctors eventually link directly to the stress inside that household. She is not just growing up, she is surviving. But Barbados gives her something that no amount of hardship can take away. An identity, a culture, a sense of self so rooted in that island that no matter how far she travels or how famous she becomes, Barbados never leaves her voice, her attitude, or her bones. She discovers music as the escape. She forms a trio with two schoolmates and they perform wherever they can. A military cadet program brings American record producer Evan Rogers to Barbados on vacation. His wife is Barbadian, and through a connection, Rogers agrees to hear local talent perform. Rihanna walks in. She sings. Evan Rogers does not move for the entire performance. He brings her to New York. He gets her in front of Jay-Z, then the president of Def Jam Records, and his entire team. The meeting is scheduled. The pressure is enormous. She is 16 years old, sitting across from one of the most powerful men in the music industry. Jay-Z tells her she is not leaving that building until they figure out a deal. She signs to Def Jam that same night. Ponda Replay arrives, and the world hears that accent for the first time. That unmistakable Caribbean lilt that no vocal coaching ever smoothed out, because she never let anyone smooth it out. The song is a hit. She is 17. The industry machine starts moving immediately. SOS, Umbrella, Take a Bow, Don't Stop the Music, hit after hit in rapid succession. Her label pushes her hard, an album almost every year, constant touring, relentless promotion. She is being maximized, and she is young enough that she does not yet have the power to push back. But Rihanna is watching everything, learning the business from the inside while being used by it, storing information, building understanding, waiting for the moment when she has enough power to use what she knows. That moment gets delayed by the worst night of her life. February 2009, the night before the Grammy Awards. Chris Brown, her boyfriend and one of the biggest pop stars in the world, assaults her in a car in Los Angeles. The details that emerge are brutal and devastating. She appears publicly days later with injuries on her face, and the entire world immediately has an opinion about what she should do next. The media coverage is obscene. Tabloids dissect her choices. People debate whether she provoked it. Radio stations pull Chris Brown's music, then quietly put it back. The conversation shifts from what he did to what she should do, as if the victim is responsible for managing the public response to her own assault. She is 20 years old. She handles it with a dignity she should never have been required to demonstrate. She speaks about it on her own terms and in her own time. And then she does what she has always done when the world becomes unbearable. She goes back to work. Rated R arrives, and it is the darkest, most confrontational music she has ever made. Not the pop-perfect radio product her label wants. A window into genuine pain delivered with absolute artistic conviction. The industry is uncomfortable with it. She releases it anyway. Because for the first time, she stops making music for the machine and starts making it for herself. Loud. Talk that talk. Unapologetic. Each album pushes further into her own identity. She is not adjusting herself to fit expectations anymore. She is forcing the industry to adjust to her. Anti arrives, and it is unlike anything in her catalogue. Slow, moody, unconventional. Her label reportedly does not love it. She releases it for free on streaming, giving it away before it is officially available for purchase. It becomes her most critically celebrated album. The world that wanted another umbrella gets something far more interesting. An artist who has fully arrived inside herself and no longer needs approval to feel certain about it. And then she does something nobody sees coming. She walks away from music entirely. No announcement, no farewell tour, no explanation. She simply stops and redirects every ounce of her energy into something the industry never saw coming. In 2017, she launches Fenty Beauty with LVMH, the most powerful luxury goods company on earth. But this is not just another celebrity makeup line, and anyone who dismisses it that way completely misses the point. 40 shades of foundation at launch, shades that had never existed in mainstream beauty before. Shades for women who had been told by the beauty industry for generations that their skin tone was not profitable enough to cater to. It is not just a product launch, it is a direct confrontation with an entire industry's history of exclusion. The line sells $50 million worth of product in its first 40 days. The entire beauty industry is forced to respond. Competitors scramble to expand their shade ranges overnight. The standard shifts industry-wide because one woman refused to accept what already existed. She follows it with Savage x Fenty, a lingerie brand built on the same philosophy of radical inclusivity. Every body, every shade, every size. Not as a marketing strategy, as a genuine conviction. By 2021, Rihanna is a billionaire, the wealthiest female musician in history, and the overwhelming majority of that wealth does not come from music. It comes from ownership, from building things that belong entirely to her. The girl from Barbados, who sat across from Jay-Z at 16 and walked out with a record deal, built something that no record deal could ever have given her. She did not just make it in the industry, she made the industry answer to her. That is not a music career, that is a complete takeover. Built from a beach in Barbados, with nothing but a voice and the absolute refusal to be sent home. If this story hit different, drop a comment telling me which part shocked you the most. And if you want more untold stories about the artists the world thinks it knows, subscribe right now, because we are just getting started. The next one is going to hit even harder than this.